Hey, this is John Bohlinger with Premier Guitar. Today we're looking at two very exciting brand new guitars from Paul Reed Smith. The first is the Myles Kennedy signature guitar. And the second is the NF53. NF for Narrowfield, 53 because it was inspired by a very special vintage guitar in Paul Reed Smith's personal collection. So before I tell you about all the great details on these guitars, let me tell you about how I'm recording it. I'm plugged into a modest pedal board, and that's run into a Rev Amp D20, direct out to Pro Tools and out to you. So that's about it. Guitar, a couple pedals, amp, universe. So these guitars have a lot of similarities and a few key differences per Myles' request. But let's start with this. The bodies are swamp ash and super light and really attractive. And I think my favorite thing about the bodies is that they are kind of ergonomic. They've done some contouring that makes them more comfortable to play. So it's really, to me, it's more for a modern player. They both have a 10 radius, which I love, far more comfortable with that. 22 frets, which I definitely prefer. 25.5 scale. They both have maple fretboards, maple necks, bone nuts. The tuners are a little bit different. The NF53 has these sort of cool vintagey looking tuners. Myles went with these locking PRS tuners, but even though they're locking, to me they look very vintage. Aesthetically, I like what they're doing there. It's locking, but it's kind of a covert locking. So the neck profile, they're a little different. They're both very comfortable, but this one, the NF53, is slightly more narrow than this one. And it's the kind of thing where at first I didn't even notice it until it was pointed out to me. Then I could kind of feel it once I was told about it. But they're both comfortable. This just has a little bit more to it, but not at all baseball batty. They're both comfortable necks. So NF stands for Narrowfield, and they both have these Narrowfield pickups, but they're slightly different. And the electronics are a little different. So let's start with Myles and then get into the NF53 after that. So Myles worked with Paul Reed Smith to kind of revoice these Narrowfields towards their own specifications. And the way they describe it is voice to capture the courage of a humbucker with the spank of a single coil. And I think, mission accomplished. It has all that. And another interesting thing he did with the wiring, there's a 5-way switch here that gives you a ton of different options. And there's also a push-pull pot where the tone is. And essentially what that does, the push-pull backs down the top end on the bridge pickup, but it only engages with the bridge pickup. So if it's on the neck, it's not engaged. So it's very clever wiring, giving you a ton of different tones out of just 2 pickups. Now enough of my yakking, let's go ahead and hear this thing a little bit. Here it is, we'll just go from one end to the other. Here we are starting on the bridge. Very spanky, right? But if we roll off that high, love that. And then this position 2, to me that's so stratty, right? I mean, that's the best way to tell, right? It's just got that. I don't really know how they capture that strat tone, but that's very close. Now if we pull up the switch on it, in the middle, and that's with the top up. Here's with the top down. Love that. And I think right here is probably my favorite tone. This fourth position That's where I came in. I was kind of trying to do like an homage to Albert Lee, but it's kind of that tone. Pull the switch up. Great, right? And then the neck. I mean, there are just a ton of tones into that. Handles the clean stuff really well. I think I saw an interview with Myles talking about this guitar, and he's saying with a T-style guitar, there's really, I'm paraphrasing, but he kind of essentially said, they cut so well and they're so present, there's really kind of nowhere to hide. You have to, the notes are right there. And I again, I'm paraphrasing, but I get what he's saying. Everything is so present and it really cuts through a mix that you kind of have to be on your game. You can't really fake your way through it, but they do just stand out so well in a mix. And every note just kind of rings to me. Now let me put a little dirt on this thing so you can see what it does with that. That's extreme dirt, but kind of a more sort of, you know, dirty country thing. Now let's go ahead and try the 53. So now I'm on the NF53. Now both guitars have Narrowfield pickups with their proprietary Alnico magnets, but there's some differences. These are the NFDD. DD stands for deep dish. And essentially, the deep dish pickups are made with a little taller bobbins to fit more winds and extra metal pieces in between the magnetics, making them higher output pickups, higher than the MKs, resulting in a more focused, powerful tone because they're dual single coil magnetic field. And again, this one just has a standard three-way switch and without the push-pull. Why don't I go ahead and play a little bit and you can hear what it sounds like. So let me start with the combined tone of the two together. That's probably my favorite tone on it. Just a great traditional stick out in the mix tone. So the middle position, love that. Neck pickup, I think has that great kind of Jimmy Bryant jazzy tone without the hum. Love that. And then the bridge has got all that kind of spanky that you kind of want from a T-saw. Then add a little dirt to it. So that's a quick first look at the brand new PRS Myles Kennedy signature and NF53. I love the fact that PRS, inspired by a classic design, fixed, I think, some inherent problems and made it really a much more modern guitar for modern players. I love what you did. To read the full written review, go to premierguitar.com. While you're online, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Press that shiny red button below. Thank you. Also, check out our social media crap and have the magazine sent to your home. I know I do. It's John Bohlinger. Till next time.